Hey, what's up YouTube? Down the Smartphone Guy coming back at you with another video, and tonight I want to do a comparison of two GoPro action cameras. The first one is the GoPro Hero 6. So this one's been out, I believe, since last September. I actually just picked it up a week ago, and at the same time I picked up this guy right here that came out last week. This is the GoPro Hero 2018. So this one is $200 versus this one for $400. Or is this the $400 one and this the $200 one? Honestly, it is nearly impossible to tell the difference between these two because they are literally identical when you have the case on. So let's go ahead and turn the camera around, take a look at what all they have to offer, and then I'm going to share some footage from the two so you can maybe make the decision for yourself which one you think might be right for you. Alright, so here are the boxes that each of the two cameras came in. So this is the Hero 6 Black over here on the left, and then the Hero 2018. Now aesthetically, you'll notice that there are very few differences between the two cameras. So one thing you will notice is that over here on the Hero 6, it does actually say Hero 6, whereas on the Hero 2018 it just says Hero. But other than that, aesthetically they look literally identical in every other way except one other thing. So this one, you notice it has a power icon, whereas over here it has that highlight icon on the mode button. So that is the only other major difference I can tell aesthetically between the two. Other than that, they are identical. Now, the problem with that is if you have both of them and you have the case on it, you will not be able to tell the difference without turning the screen on. So just something worth mentioning. Now, as far as what you get in the box, I'm going to go ahead and slide these off over to the side for a second. And in the box, you get the GoPro stickers, you get your pamphlets with instructions, you get a Type-C connector. So I love the fact that the Hero 2018 and the Hero 6 both use Type-C charging, and then also for data transfer as well. So then they come with the exact same mounts as well. So I wish GoPro would include a few more mounts, especially when you're paying $400, which is what I paid for the Hero 6. I just feel like they should include a few more mounts. Now, as far as the actual spec differences between these two, the Hero 6 will shoot in 12 megapixel stills, and I'll show you some of these in the end. And then the Hero 2018 will only shoot in 10 megapixel stills. Now let's go ahead and I'm going to turn the screens back on here. And when I come over here into video, a couple of the things that we'll mention here is that as far as resolution goes on the Hero 6, you can see we can shoot in 4K. So when I go into 4K, we'll go ahead and do that. And then frames per second, you can see that I have the option of 240, 120, 60, 30, or 24. So of course 240 or 120 will be used for slow motion, which unfortunately are not options available over here on the Hero 6. So when I go into resolution, I have the option of 1440 and 1080. So I'll just keep it at 1080 for now. And then when we go into our frames per second, you can see we have options for 60 and 30. So no slow motion available over here on the Hero 2018. So I think for some people that could maybe be a deal breaker, but for me, I don't think that's necessarily a deal breaker. But it's something at least worth mentioning. Now, another thing you'll notice that's a difference here is that over here we don't have an icon for GPS. That's because the Hero 2018 does not have that as an option, whereas over here, I'm not sure if we'll be able to see it. There we go. You can see that little icon for the GPS for the Hero 6, so that is a nice option to have. A couple other things worth mentioning over here. If I slide over to the left, you can see that with the Hero 6, we have an option for Pro Tune. So Pro Tune allows us to change our video settings, so we can change our white balance, our ISO, and things like that. So just a little bit more control over it. For video stabilization, you can see that this one will crop in, so it says temporarily disabled. But basically what it will say here, and that's because it's at this resolution. So at 4K you cannot use video stabilization, so I'd have to go back into 1080p. But we do have a 5% crop on the Hero 6, whereas on the Hero 2018, when I go into that option, you'll see that it actually has a 10% crop there. Alright, so we have auto low light, and then we do also have manual audio controls for stereo and wind only, which are not available over here. Now, they both have voice control, which is a really awesome option. Unfortunately, on the Hero 2018, I actually found that anytime I would say the word GoPro, it would automatically start a video or take a picture. So it was a little too sensitive sometimes with the audio option. So you can see here I actually had to turn it off over here. But they do work very well. It's just that this one tends to kind of work overly well. It tends to not hear me quite right. So when I say certain commands, it unfortunately will hear the incorrect ones once in a while, just when I say the term GoPro or when I say the word GoPro. So that was one little complaint I have about it. Other than that, it does a fantastic job. So we have photo, and of course we have burst, and we have time-lapse videos. The time-lapse video and photo, same thing, same options that we have over on the GoPro 6, Hero 6 over here. So if I go over here, you can see that we have photo, and then this does actually have an option for night as well. And then we can go over here, whoops, I hit the wrong thing, and then we have an option for time-lapse as well. So outside of those things, those are the main differences between the two. We'll go ahead now and take a look at some of the video quality between the two. So you will notice a difference, and I do also think that you'll notice a pretty major difference between the sound quality on the two, or at least I did, as well as the image stabilization. So that's where you're paying that extra for the Hero 6. So you have to kind of make that decision for yourself. Is it worth it to pay that extra $200 to get those little I'll say benefits of the Hero 6. Now, one of the things I will mention about both of these cameras is that GoPro cameras are absolute easiest action cameras to use. So it's so easy to just navigate through these menus. You simply just press. The touchscreen works very well. You do have those options for voice. As I mentioned on the Hero 2018, unfortunately, they sometimes kind of overdo it. But on the Hero 6, they work so well, which is awesome. You literally just have to say, GoPro, start recording, and they should both automatically do it. So notice over here, it didn't actually work. So that is, again, oh, that's because I had it turned off. So it would have worked had I actually had it turned on. But again, that is just awesome. I really love how GoPro does that. It really makes them super easy to use, very intuitive. But let's go ahead and take a look at some of the footage I took a little bit earlier so you can kind of make that decision for yourself. Is it worth it to save the $200 and get the Hero 2018? Alright, so I am out here in my local park, and I just wanted to do a quick test, trying to really test three things with the GoPros. So the first thing I want to test is the sound quality. So it is a little bit of a windy day, so you may hear some of the wind noise as they brush over the GoPro cameras. So that's the first thing I want to test. The other thing I want to test is the dynamic range. So as I spin around, you'll notice that behind me right now, it's mostly kind of cloudy behind me, but then as I go to this direction, notice that it's pretty much just blue skies and clouds behind me. So very few clouds anyway, so it's almost completely blue skies that direction. So that's one thing that you'll be able to see as I go through. You'll also be able to see the video quality. So those are the three things I want to test. Also the electronic image stabilization. So I'm going to do a little bit of walking through the woods here. So I'm right out next to a trail. So you might hear my feet crunching through some sticks, through some snow, because it is still a little bit snowy here in Michigan. So I'm going to do some backwards walking here as I talk to you guys. So as I spin around and kind of check out, you guys can see kind of the quality and how quickly they focus, and the electronic image stabilization is turned on in both. Now remember, with the Hero 2018, it's a 10% crop, whereas with the Hero 6, it is just a 5% crop. So I'm going to go ahead and keep walking here for just a second. And obviously, if you are using a GoPro, chances are you're probably not going to be walking with it very often. Most of the time, you're probably going to be running or mountain biking or doing something a lot more active. Maybe you're out on a skateboard or whatever. So we're going to speed up a little bit so you guys can see what it's like. So I'm running now, obviously, and as I'm running, obviously there's a lot more bobbing going on, so you'll be able to see what the stabilization is like. So I'm going to go ahead and face it behind me and switch hands. All right, so hopefully that gives you at least a little bit of an idea of what the cameras are like. Now I'm shooting both of these at 1080p at 60 frames per second. The main reason I'm doing that is because they both feature the electronic image stabilization at that particular setting. So anyways, whew, I'm out of breath a little bit, getting a little bit old. So anyways, quick look at the two GoPros. Hopefully this has been a little bit helpful for you. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all in the next video. Peace. GoPro, stop recording.